Hello, welcome back to another video, and it must mean that it's the end of another month. That is crazy. I feel like February just flew by, but we're back with what I read in February, and all the reads in February have been 5 stars, which is a rarity, but it's been a very good month this month with the books that I've read, and I've managed to squeeze in 4 books this month, and I have started another book, but again, it's like the 25th of February when I'm filming this, so I won't get that book finished in like 3 days. So that will roll over to March's reads. So I'm going to talk about the books that I read in February. Let's get on with it. Okay, the first book I read in February, which I actually started at the end of January, is Peter Swanson, Her Every Fear. So I read a Peter Swanson book, I want to say about 2 years ago, when Chris had another book by him called The Kind Worth Killing, which is another incredible book if you want some recommendations. And then I couldn't find a Peter Swanson book anywhere in the UK. It seems to be very, very hard to get his books anywhere in the UK. I don't know why. And then I randomly found this one, a second-hand one, in a charity book table thing. So we went to a little donkey sanctuary and they had a book table and it was on there. So I think I got it for like 50p, along with another Freida McFadden book, which I still haven't yet read. But yeah, so that was weirdly in there. So I had to pick it up. This one was amazing. So it's about Kate and Corbin, who are cousins but have never met each other. So Kate is British and Corbin is American, and they do like a flat swap. So they swap and go and live in each other's apartments for 6 months for work. So that's like the premise of like sets the scene. And then when Kate gets to America, her next door neighbour is missing and there's like police and people wondering where she's gone. And then it sort of links into this is going to be the storyline of the book. So it's about a lady that's gone missing and eventually like, was she killed? Who killed her? And it's 3 points of views in this book. So you've got Kate, Corbin, and then you've got a man called Alan, who is another like resident in the apartment. And it's sort of his side as well, of because he knew the neighbour, so it's from his point of view. And then it talks about, like, it goes back in time basically. So there's like 3 POVs and like back in time. It's so good. I think the way Peter writes stuff, it just keeps you wanting to read more. I've never sort of read any books written like Peter writes, and I really enjoy his style, and I think that's what sort of gravitates me to his books, but they're also just very addictive and easy reads. It was really good. Again, it wasn't a book where you sort of thinking who is the killer, because it kind of introduces you to the killer in the book in like different ways. I'm not going to obviously spoil it, but it does kind of give it sort of, this is going to be the killer. It's not really a whodunit, it's kind of like a how did it and when sort of thing. But it was amazing. I really enjoyed this, and I've just got another Peter Swanson book recently, which is the next one from The Kind Worth Killing, so I'm very excited to read that. But I recommend the Peter Swanson books, and I'm going to read more, especially if you're into crime books, psychological thriller books. Read Peter, because he is incredible. Yeah, I could go on about this for ages, but I really enjoyed it. And yeah, that was my first read of February. My second read of February, it's not going to be a book video without a Freida book in this video. I read The Surrogate Mother. So I was bought this Freida book because people are now sort of talking about Freida books all the time, and people are buying people ones they haven't got. It's very popular, so I was very kindly given bought this book, and well, I was bought it at Christmas and I've just like read it now. This was amazing because, like I said in my last video, Freida is very up and down, and I wasn't as keen on the one I read last time, but this was so good. I did not see the twist coming at all in this book, and I was reading it thinking, it's got to be this person, or it's got to be this, or this is going to happen. I was trying to figure it out the whole time, and it was just one of those where you were just like, what? That was insane. Absolutely insane. So the basic story line, which by the title, it's probably quite obvious, but you meet Abby and Sam, who are a couple who are struggling to have a child. And in the first sort of little bit of the book, it tells you that they've got a potential woman who's going to give their child to them to adopt and keep, basically. And then that sort of goes a bit haywire. And then there is a woman who works for Abby called Monica, and she offers to be their surrogate mother. And it just, yeah, it's kind of like, who is Monica? Why is she doing this? There's got to be something weird about her, and Abby's trying to work it out, and she goes to talk to people that know her family, her roommates, and yeah, it gets really, really good. It's a slower burn, but I don't mind that. I usually kind of like if the story's good, like the slow burn and then the big sort of reveal at the end. And I actually thought there was one twist, and then you sort of get further along and actually no, this is the proper twist here. So it sort of leaves you thinking, oh, sort of over the first bit, and then you've got to process the next bit. But yeah, this was incredible. I can't really say too much without giving the entire plot away, but I recommend this one. This was amazing. And my favourite Frida books are The First Housemaid, The Tenant, and now this one's in my top 3. Like, absolutely amazing. And I hope I read some more that'll get me like that, because that was so good. So yeah, that was my second read of February, The Surrogate Mother by Frida McFadden. The third one was a Kindle read, and it was an author that I've never read or wasn't really familiar with, but it's called The Guilty Couple by C.L. Taylor, and it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I thought I'll get it, because again, if I don't like it, I've not paid for it. And the title intrigued me, and it actually wasn't what I was expecting at all. I thought it was going to be a married couple that had committed a murder, and then they were sort of trying to cover it up, or they were trying to frame each other. But that wasn't it. This was kind of like they were a divorced couple, and the start of the book is the main woman is in court because she's been framed for something, or she's been done for something. We're not really sure, but she says that she's not done it, and she thinks that someone's framed her for it, and it's her husband or ex-husband that's framed her, basically. And then the whole book is, again, flashbacks, different points of views, different people involved. You've got Danny, who's one of the cops involved. You've got Dom, who's the ex-husband. You've got the ex-wife. Then you've got like all her friends and different people. So there's lots of people in the book, but it's so well written, and it was so intriguing and like gripping that I just wanted to keep reading, because there was lots of people coming in, and then there was lots of little twists and things thrown in to keep you reading, which I really, really enjoyed. So I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this, and that it was a 5-star, because I think when I first started reading, I was kind of thinking, I don't know if this is going to be like a very, very like a top rated read for me. But no, it was really good, because again, I didn't see the twist coming at all. I didn't see who was involved with stuff. I thought about certain things that I did guess, but the main thing for like the main person who was the main culprit, I didn't see coming at all. And again, I love that in a book, which is why it gets 5 stars when I can't guess who's done it. But I'm going to check out more of her books, because again, I wasn't sure if it was a man or a woman, but it's a woman. So I'm going to check out more of hers at some point. Again, if you like your sort of psychological thrillers, mystery books, then I would recommend this particular book, because I really enjoyed it, and it kept you guessing, I would say. And actually, another point I do want to say is there was a certain chapter in this book that was kind of like when you try not to get caught doing something. I have never felt like I'm in the room with those characters like I have with that book. Like, I could really feel like my adrenaline sort of kicking off and thinking, oh, I hope that this person, you know, succeeds in what they're trying to do. So then again, you know, it's a well-written book. If you can literally feel how the characters are feeling in that book, and that's how the author wants it to come across. So I really enjoyed that element to it. Never experienced that before. So yeah, that was something new, something different, but amazing. And my final read for February, which is why I managed to squeeze in 4 books, because I thought I'll read an autobiography, because I get through these a lot quicker. I find them a lot easier to read, a lot more enjoyable, a lot more fast-paced. This one was more intense. I think that's the right word for it. And it's Jennette McCurdy, I'm Glad My Mum Died. And surely people know or have at least heard of this book because it is so popular. As it says on the cover, over 3 million copies sold. It's insane. This book is probably one of the most uncomfortable books I've ever read for like a celebrity memoir autobiography. So if anyone doesn't know, Jeanette McCurdy was on iCarly, like Nickelodeon, back when I was around, I would say around 13. 13 to like 15 was when I was watching Nickelodeon with Jeanette in. And that's one of the reasons why I thought I wanted to read this book, and also the title. The title completely like grabs you and wants you to pick it up, and that's another reason Jeanette has said in an interview she wanted to have a title that people were going to want to read just by the title and want to pick it up, and it worked. Trigger warning: if you find things about eating disorders, abuse, like controlling behaviour, this book might be a little bit difficult for you to read, because a lot of the book is based on that, and also cancer as well is featured in this book. So you can imagine, like, it was a book that I generally did feel very uncomfortable at times reading about, just from some of the stuff that her mum did. So I'm not going to obviously dwell on a lot of it because I don't want to spoil the book, but there are a few things in here that I think were just downright disgusting, like awful. So she was saying that she got to like age 11. When you start going through puberty, some people do that early, and she was obviously scared. She was 11-year-old, and she's gone to her mum and sort of said to her that she thinks she's started to hit puberty and, you know, her body's changing. So her mom has basically said, oh, well, you need to go on a calorie diet then if you want to not go through puberty. And basically got her on a diet that gave her anorexia. So she was anorexic at the age of 11, and it continued into adulthood, leading into bulimia and like binge and purging up to 26 years old. Like 26 years old, and she only managed to get out of this cycle of eating disorder by going to a specialist, because she tried going through therapy, she tried just stopping, but I think she was so used to being told she needed to be a certain weight, she needed to eat certain foods, that she couldn't get out of that cycle. And it was so hard to just read about, like, people were pointing out to her mum, like the doctors were saying they were concerned about her weight, and her mum was saying that they were being over dramatic and she didn't need to worry. And it was horrible. And I just think her mum obviously had a lot of issues herself with some of the other things that's mentioned in this book. Her mum clearly had a lot of mental health issues and wasn't having the right support, because the stuff that she endured was, you just wouldn't even think would ever happen. Saying that her mum made her have showers with her, like her mum basically had to shower and wash her hair up till 17 years old. Like 17 years old is crazy to think about. Like, you are basically an adult nearly at 17. I mean, you shouldn't even be going past the age of like 9, maybe even less than that, to have a shower with a parent. Mental. And she talks about how she had like out of body experiences, because her and her older brother sometimes had to have a shower together with the mum showering them, and it's mental to think of. Absolutely crazy. But the way Jeanette writes is amazing, so well written. It's written in first person, obviously, because it's from her own experience. So well done, and you can really feel the emotion that Jeanette's trying to get across. There was other things as well where it's kind of like her mum's basically made her an actress. She didn't want to do this, but she did it because her mum wanted it, and she wanted to keep her mum happy, because her mum used to lash out quite a lot. Her and her dad used to fight and, you know, swear and be violent in the house. So she was just trying to do things so that her mum didn't lash out at her, which again is so sad. And I think, like, I watched this person pretend to be a character on TV, and you think that they have an amazing life. They're on TV, they get loads of money, they're living the best life, when actually no one actually knows someone's proper life. It's called acting for a reason, and no one would ever have known that she was going through all this suffering. There was all the stuff with Nickelodeon, with the creator of iCarly, because it got cancelled for the creator being, well, not a very nice person, and she talks about that and how that Nickelodeon tried to pay her off so that she wouldn't talk about it to the press or anywhere, and she declined and said, I'm not taking your money as hush money because I might want to talk about it. And fair play to her, because it's a part of the therapy and the getting over stuff like that. So there was so much to digest in this book. I could sit here and probably talk for another half an hour about what I think about this book and how amazing it is and how she deserves all the awards and all the talk that she is getting, because it is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I can't say anything else about it. One of the most disturbing and like uncomfortable books, like from an autobiography kind of point of view, but again, one of the best by far, just because she's so honest, she's so open, she's so brave to sit and talk about her struggles with like eating disorders and alcoholism, and basically being treated so much like a child that when she was 18, 19, she had no experience with like any sort of adult things, sort of things you do as an adult thing in relationships and things like that. And she even talks about things she said in the book that a lot of people will probably keep private, and there's so much respect for her for that, so much respect. And I'm glad that she's now found her peace and is writing, because I'm going to read her second book as well, because I loved this one. And yeah, this was a massive like insight and sort of inspirational read, really, that someone can have all this trauma and stuff go on and they just put it in a book and they share it with the world, and they want to get that out there, send that message, and hopefully save someone's life, because that could have been to the point of she could have died from that. And that is what I love. And yeah, amazing. They were my books of February, and I hope you agree that it's been an amazing month. I don't think March is going to top it, to be fair, but we'll see what we have. Like I say, I have started a book this month, so we'll see how many I get through, because this one I've started is quite long, so it might just be 2 books this in March, but we'll see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button down below, give my video a like if you did like it, leave a comment if you've read any of the books. I know, again, Frida and the Jennette McCurdy book is very popular, so let me know if you've read them and your thoughts, and let me know if you want to see any different sort of book videos, because I want to try and upload a bit more regular, but not too much, because at the minute I don't have a lot of time, which is why it's going to be 1 a month until I can find the time or find some more inspiration. Please let me know, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.